Have you ever wondered, what if just 6 numbers, yes, only 6, held the silent power to shift your entire financial reality? Not through luck, not through chance, but through ancient rhythm. Frequencies that whisper when the soul is finally quiet enough to listen. If a number has been following you, on receipts, clocks, dreams, doorways, type it in the comments now. Because sometimes the number you keep seeing is the one trying to find you. I used to laugh it off, thought it was just mystical fluff, until I saw it with my own eyes. In the life of someone who had lost all hope. My neighbor, Maria, a retired school teacher with a kind heart, a mountain of debt, and nights too heavy to sleep through. She had no business believing in miracles, and yet one found her. It started with a number, a simple one, that began showing up again and again. And somehow, she listened. Don't scroll. Because by the end of this video, you'll understand how one number, yes, just one, can begin to shift your relationship with money, with flow, with your own self-worth, and how 6 of them together can quietly reroute the direction of your life. But before we go deeper, lock in your energy. Type this in the comments. Luck is coming to me, because abundance doesn't knock on closed doors. It finds the ones that leave the light on. Now take a breath, tap like, subscribe, and let's shift how we see wealth, not as something to chase, but something we return to. You see, some seeds don't sprout the day you plant them. They rest beneath the soil. They wait in silence. They gather power in the darkness. They trust in timing beyond what we can see. Abundance is the same. It's not always loud. It doesn't always arrive dressed in gold. Sometimes it shows up as a number, small, repeating, easy to miss. But if you notice it and honor it, it opens a path, a doorway into a deeper intelligence, a rhythm older than any system, a language the universe has always spoken. These 6 numbers, they're not random. They are sacred codes, quiet guides, each one tuned to a different kind of healing, each one awakening a forgotten part of you. Some will invite trust, some will demand release, some will stir movement, and one will help you finally receive. But none of them work unless you're ready to remember who you really are. So take one more breath. Feel your body soften. Feel the pull within you. This is the beginning, not of chasing, but of aligning. Let's begin. And now, we arrive at a number that doesn't shout. It doesn't burst into your life like lightning or thunder. No, 27 moves like a breeze through tall grass, like the hush of intuition you feel in your chest before your mind catches up. It whispers. It appears quietly. On clocks at 2:27. On receipts you almost throw away. On street signs, license plates, random dreams at 3 a.m. Not by coincidence, but as a gentle cosmic nudge from the universe itself. Because in sacred numerology, 27 is not a number of force. It is the number of quiet abundance. It speaks to trust, to flow, to knowing that even when nothing seems to be moving on the outside, there is something unfolding deep beneath the surface. Maria knew that feeling all too well. A school teacher from a quiet village in Minaj, she was falling through the cracks, barely holding it together. Every month a new worry, a new weight. She was tired, but then 27 started showing up. At first, she ignored it. Just strange repetition, she thought. But it kept returning, softly, persistently, until finally she leaned in. And she began a ritual. Simple, gentle, profound. Every morning, before touching her phone, she sat still, closed her eyes, breathed deep, and for exactly 2 minutes and 7 seconds, she visualized the life she longed for. Not with desperation, but with peace, with balance, with trust. No grand gestures, no trying to force the river, just alignment. And then, momentum. Not loud, not instant, but undeniable. An unexpected scholarship for her daughter. A check in the mail she didn't expect. And more than anything, a calm she hadn't tasted in years. Like she had finally stepped back into rhythm with her own life. You can try it too. Tomorrow morning, before the noise, before the scroll. Sit still for 2 minutes and 7 seconds. Close your eyes, breathe, and repeat silently. Abundance flows to me calmly and consistently. Let it settle into your bones. Feel it like a gentle current rising from the inside out. See it, believe it, then let go. And just watch. And when you're ready to receive, type it into the comments. 27 is with me. Because some miracles don't arrive with trumpets. Some begin with nothing more than a whisper. If 27 is a whisper in the dark, then 14 is a gentle hand on your shoulder. Not pulling, not pushing, but reminding you to pause, to come back to center. Because in sacred numerology, 14 carries a message of realignment. It is the union of two sacred forces, the bold spark of 1, pure individuality, and the grounded wisdom of 4, structure, stability, roots. Together, they create movement with meaning, progress with balance, generosity with boundaries. So if 14 has been showing up on receipts, in room numbers, in the timestamps of life, it's no accident. It may be the universe's way of gently asking, where have you gone missing from your own life? When did you last pour into yourself with the same love you give away so freely? Leandro never asked himself those questions. He was always in motion, a driven sales manager, successful by every outer measure. But inside, he felt hollow, the kind of tired that sleep doesn't fix, the kind of ache that success can't soothe. And then, 14 began to echo through his days, on emails, on receipts, on hotel room doors while traveling for work, everywhere. He didn't ignore it. He stopped. He listened. And he began a simple, sacred practice. Each night before bed, he took a pen and paper and wrote down 6 things. 3 he gave to others, his time, his energy, his kindness. And 3 he gave to himself, rest, stillness, joy, a quiet walk, a moment of silence. That was it. No grand gestures, no overnight miracles, just awareness. And within weeks, the noise inside quieted. His anxiety began to lift like morning fog. His focus sharpened. His relationships deepened because he was finally present, fully, not just for others, but for himself. Because outer harmony is not created through overgiving. It is born from a soul in balance. So here's your invitation. Write the number 14. Somewhere you'll see it daily. On your mirror, your phone screen, your wallet, your journal. And each time your eyes meet it, pause and ask yourself, what did I give today and what did I receive? Not out of guilt, but out of grace. Because you too are worthy of your own love. And when you feel that shift beginning inside, that subtle return to your center, type it in the comments. Balance activated. Because sometimes healing doesn't begin with fixing others. It begins with remembering you belong in the circle of your own care. You are not just the giver of light. You are worthy to stand in it, too. Some numbers only arrive when the soul is ready. They wait, just outside the doorway of your awareness, until life softens you enough to see them. 9 is one of those numbers. It doesn't rush in. It waits until you're standing at the edge of something. A season, a cycle, a self. And then, quietly, it appears. Not to punish, but to prepare you. Because in numerology, 9 is the number of sacred release, the elder, the threshold, the ending. Not the kind of ending that signals failure, but the kind that whispers, you've learned what you needed to learn. Now let go. In Buddhist teachings, we're reminded nothing stays, everything moves. And our suffering often comes from trying to grip what was never meant to remain. Rafera didn't go searching for transformation. It found her, a job lost, a relationship cracked open, the slow, aching erosion of self-worth. She didn't feel ready, but life was already unfolding. And then 9 began to show up, in her dreams, in randomly generated passwords, in the number of pages she would turn before closing a book, breathless. And then she remembered, numbers can heal. So she followed the nudge. Each night, she lit a single candle, just one. And for 9 nights, she took a deep breath and wrote down one thing she was ready to release. A fear she'd outgrown. A name that still echoed with pain. A version of herself that no longer felt true. No ritual too grand. No spells. No chance. Just honesty. Just willingness. And by the 9th night, something inside her softened. The grief, once sharp, began to lose its edges. And in its place, not joy exactly, but gratitude. Quiet. Real. Rising from within. You can try this too. Tonight, light a single candle. Take a breath. Write down just one thing, one burden, one pattern, one old story that you're ready to let go of. Do it for 9 nights, not for magic, but for choice, for reclaiming the power to say, "This no longer defines me." And when you feel the shift, when something inside begins to exhale, type into the comments, "Emotional freedom," because sometimes the deepest healing isn't in what we gain, but in what we finally lovingly set down. Some numbers arrive to guide, to nudge, to whisper, but 22, it doesn't whisper, it builds. It moves through your life, like blueprint and hammer, like vision turned into form. It doesn't ask you to dream harder. It tells you, clearly, move, now with faith. In sacred numerology, 22 is the master builder, the sacred architect of reality. It is the number that takes what lives in the unseen, the dream, the calling, the spark, and grounds it into this world, brick by brick, choice by choice, intention by living intention. It is the bridge between wishing and doing. Letitia felt the call, a nurse, a single mother, always giving, always healing. And yet, deep inside, a vision had been quietly glowing for years. A holistic clinic of her own, a space of light, of care, of freedom. But life didn't leave her time. There was no roadmap, no spare hours, no confidence. Until one day, 22 began to show up. Everywhere. On receipts, on shift schedules, in random YouTube timestamps. Not coincidence, a call. And this time, she listened. She began a ritual. Every morning for 22 days, she sat with her journal and wrote down one clear, honest intention. No filters, no fear, just truth, spoken into form. Day 3, clarity. Day 7, momentum. Day 15, a free training offer from a friend of a friend. And on day 22, she met the person who would become her future business partner. Today, her clinic exists, not as a fantasy, but as bricks, walls, clients, light, real. And now it's your turn. Try it. For the next 22 days, write one true soul-aligned intention each morning. Just one. Write it as if it's already happening. Not "I hope," but it is. Speak it into existence. Feel it anchor in your body. Let the energy of 22 begin to build with you. And then, declare it. Comment below, "My intention is," and finish the sentence. Speak it boldly. Because the universe builds with those who are willing to show up, one brick at a time. Some miracles don't fall from the sky. They rise. From earth. From effort. From faith. 22 builds. Will you? Ever feel that weight? That quiet heaviness? Not pain, not crisis, just stuck, like life has become a loop you didn't mean to get trapped in? That's when 5 arrives, not to scold, but to stir, to wake up the part of you that remembers you were never meant to stay in one form forever. In numerology, 5 is the number of evolution, of fresh starts, sacred risks, and transformation through movement. It doesn't demand chaos. It invites change. Just enough to stretch your soul, just enough to let the light back in. Psychologists call it controlled novelty, intentional change, small sparks that reignite the spirit without burning the whole house down. Fernando had a good life, comfortable, predictable, stable, but he'd stopped feeling alive. Joy became a memory, days blurred into sameness, and then 5 began to echo through his life. On receipts, addresses, Digital clocks stuck at 5:55, not random, a call to rise. So he created his own 5-day evolution challenge. Simple, intentional, transformative. Day 1. Took a new route to work. Day 2. Turned off his phone for an hour, just to be with himself. Day 3. Journaled during lunch, wrote the things he hadn't said out loud in months. Day 4. Revisited a dusty old hobby. Paint and color returned to his hands. Day 5. Said yes to something unexpected. A dinner invite he would have declined. A conversation that turned into inspiration. And by the end, he felt something stir. Not a full transformation, but a spark, a pulse, the feeling of being awake again. You can begin too. Create your own 5-day evolution challenge. It doesn't have to be loud or wild. Just one small change each day. A shake of the routine, a breath of fresh possibility. Because movement doesn't wait for permission. It just needs a beginning. And when you feel that spark, however small, type into the comments, "I'm ready to evolve." Let the universe hear you. Because 5 isn't just a number, it's an invitation to remember how alive you really are. And now, we arrive at the number that doesn't whisper, doesn't tap gently at the door. It resonates. 8. The infinite loop, the sacred cycle, the number of return. In numerology, 8 is the number of manifestation. Not wishes and luck, but earned alignment. Karma fulfilled. Energy sent out. Now circling back with interest. In Buddhism, it's simple. Intention arrow. Action arrow destiny. What you send becomes what you receive. Not punishment, not reward, just rhythm, just law. Casio knew failure. 3 times he tried to build his dream business. 3 times it collapsed. Burnout, betrayal, broken trust. He almost gave up, almost shrunk into the belief that maybe it just wasn't meant to be. And then 8 began to arrive. Not loud, not flashy, but consistent. On receipts, on parking spaces, in his dreams. He paid attention. He knew numbers speak before the world shifts. So he began a ritual. For 8 weeks, he practiced. Each morning, 3 gratitudes. Not performative, not shallow. Real, grounded, present. Each night, 3 prosperity intentions. Not, "I hope I can," but "I already am." And always, at the top of the page, he hand-drew the number 8, a loop, a cycle, a seal, a promise to himself and the universe. At first, it felt like just a ritual. Then, something shifted. His energy began to change. His thoughts sharpened. His heart softened. And then, reality followed. A new business partner emerged from an old connection. Past clients returned out of nowhere. Ideas turned into plans. Plans turned into action. And the business that once felt cursed, it rose again. Not just revived, reborn, stronger, wiser, aligned. Because when you shift your frequency, you don't chase opportunities, you attract them. And now it's your turn. Here's your practice. Take a piece of paper. Draw the number 8 at the top by hand. Next to it, write, "I'm grateful for what I have. I'm ready for what I deserve." Repeat this for 8 days. Let it become a rhythm. Let it shape the field around you. And when you feel the shift, however quiet, however subtle, type in the comments, "I accept my prosperity." Because this is not about asking, it's about aligning. And once you do, you'll remember, the universe always returns, not on your timeline, but in perfect time. And now, you've met them, not just numbers, but energies, guides, reflections, 6 sacred keys, each holding a truth you may have forgotten, each echoing a version of you that's still becoming. Maybe you saw yourself in all of them, or maybe one stayed with you, refusing to let go. Let's remember, 27 whispered, "Trust, it's already growing beneath the surface." 14 reminded, "Balance what you give with what you keep." 9 said gently, "Release, let go, begin again." 22 declared, "Build, no more waiting." 5 sparked, "Move, Change invites life. 8 resonated. Align, and let the return find you. But hear this. These numbers didn't give you power. They revealed the power you've always carried, waiting, ready. So now I ask you, which number found you today? Which one echoed so deeply it felt like it had your name written in it? Here's how you anchor it, not just in thought, but in practice. If 27 called to you, begin the 2:07 morning visualization. If 14 moved your heart, ask each day, what did I give? What did I receive? If 9 opened your soul, write to release for 9 sacred nights. If 22 lit the fire, start the 22-day intention ritual, one truth per morning. If 5 stirred your spirit, create a 5-day evolution challenge. If 8 vibrated within you, draw the sacred loop. Speak gratitude. Expect return. Don't just feel it, anchor it. Comment right now. My lucky number is. Say it out loud. Name it. Claim it. Let it begin to shape your field. And if you haven't already, subscribe. Because what's coming next goes deeper than numerology, deeper than symbols, deeper than words. It moves into the realm of becoming. Because some people sit and wait for miracles. But the ones who remember their power, they don't wait. They build them.